no one else got those feels when we saw Asta at the end of this chapter. Like, you genuinely was like, oh, no, Asta, no, don't get depressed. Like, no, we can't have that. No, after everything that you've done, man, no, like, you just do that. It's just like, generally, I thought the man was gonna cry, like, when he, like, found out that news, especially, like, how they're gonna deal with this, and definitely leading up to, like, the next arc of the series and all that. Like, I'm kind of liking the fact that this is probably gonna be more focusing, if it is gonna be, like, an arc itself, like, gonna focus on the other characters and, like, actually trying to help and heal Asta back to what he originally was. So all that chapter 80 was talking about was mainly about, like, Asta's condition. He generally goes to, like, a doctor and he's like, yo, can you heal my arms? My arms are pretty messed up, man. Like, I need you to do that. And he's just like, alright, man, you know, we'll have a look. We'll just sort this shit out for you. Alright, you know. Gets out these weird, like, jellyfish things around him with this water healing magic. And he's just like, oh my god, your arms are completely shredded and all that. It's just like, hey, my stuff works like, you know, an x-ray machine and all that. And it's just like I'm able to sort this out. And just when the doctor tells him and all that, and, like, Finral overhears this and all that, what exactly he's talking about, and he's just like, oh, and it's just like, you think about it, it's just like, Asta doesn't say nothing about it, and he's all like, you know, gonna be goofy, and he's like, yeah, I gotta eat, like, let's go and enjoy myself, and, like, even when you saw Silver, she was like, you know, you can't eat with your arms, right, there, I'll help you out, and all that, and he's like, nah, I got with my feet, and all that. It's like, yo, you got a girl acting that cute in front of you, and you're, like, gonna be working like an animal on your toes and all that, like, nah, ain't having none of that and all that. And especially when it's just like, I'm tired, man, I'm gonna call it sleep. And like, alright, Asta, alright. And it's like, when everyone talks, like, you know, what's with Asta, you know, we're going on, and it's just like, okay, and all that. It's like, Finral just says, he went to see the doctor, right? Asta's arms can never be returned to normal, and he's like, you got hit by an ancient curse, Asta, and your bones are turned into dust, and I hate to say this and all that, but with your current level of magic and all that, it can't be, like, fixed at all. And it's like, that's what that piece of shit from the Eye of the Midnight Sun did to him. It's like, if, like, you know, the kingdom's best healer is, like, saying that, then it's true. Like, there's no way to do that. And it's just like, and I really, like, felt bad for everyone when they were just like, just when we found, like, the perfect teammate, and it's just like, he's even to do this, and it's just like, it wasn't bad enough that he couldn't use magic, and now he can, like, he can't even wield his weapons, and just everyone is just feels so bad for Asta, and it's just like, he's just there, just on his own, just thinking about everything and all that, and he's like, you can no longer wield a sword. And, like, when he starts shaking a little bit, where he's just like, that's the first time and all that, like, you know, like, I've actually felt despair like that, where, like, actually was like, in the end, the guy won a little bit. He won because he was getting, like, he was falling down and doing it, but then he was just like, he kind of slapped himself up a bit, and he's like hell, I'm gonna get up and all that. You threw a whole lemon tree at me at this life and all that, and then I'll just make some lemon cake alongside with my lemonade fuckers and all that. I'm gonna get these, like, damn arms of mine here, and if not and all that, I'll just find another way to fight without my arms. And it's like, I kind of like that, and it's like, that, you know, there are times no matter what you do and all that, how you try, you can't do it. Whatever I should, like, you know, like, I will never give, like, up or and all that. It's just like, you know, I'm gonna make sure that was the last time I ever felt, like, depressed like that. And, like, I really liked that. It was like, oh, that's, like, you know, that's just, like, nice of him. It's just like, fuck it, like, even if there's a good case and all that, like, if my arms are shredded, alright then, I'll use my feet, I'll use my teeth if I have to and all that. Like, I'm not giving up here and all that, like, you know, and, like, if I can't find it, you know, like, even if there's a chance to the healing and all that, you know, I'll still use it. I kind of like that. I like about Asta, and it's like, funny enough, Vanessa, like, knew, like, saying, like, oh, that kingdom might just be able to, like, heal you or all and all that. And it's just like, you know, that's not too, like, you know, too early to give up. And from what we've seen of, like, Vanessa's, like, how she's talked about, like, her, like, life before, like, we've had a little snippet about, like, she used to be in, like, some, like clan of witches or something. So I'm guessing is that where it's going to go, is, like, if anything, you know, it's like, you know, if the best healer can't do it, then maybe witches who are probably well known for, like, maybe ancient curses, and this is probably the time of the story that we might actually find out a little bit more about Vanessa, maybe. I feel like this might be where we might be able to go, and that's where I'm like, if, like, generally Asta comes with them, that'll be interesting. But we've seen, like, you know, like, it's going to be weird that now Asta's kind of handicapped for a little while, and I'm wondering, like, whenever he's going to get his arms back, or whether or not, like, you know, it would be kind of cool if he's like, nah, I'm going to use, like, one in my mouth and all that, and if that's the case and all that, I'll pull out the other, like, sword with my toes and just swing. It's like, nah, that'd be stupid as hell. But it's like, he's clearly shown all that. He's still willing to help people, even with his arms, like, shattered. And it's like, I'm very interested to see where it's going to be going, like, now. But it's like, that's the more scary scarier thing is that the Eye of the Midnight Sun, if they unleash their powers like that, then they won't be able to do stuff like that. Like, they won't be, like, you won't be able to do anything about it. Like, you know, especially with Asta, like, I feel like Asta's gonna get lucky away from this, but even still, it's like you had to deal with the fact that your arms are like could like possibly never be used again or never be as like strong as they used to be, and that was a big crushing thing for Asta, because like even still to Amazing Light, it's like, you know, he's the kind of exception to the rule, whereas like his weapons demand like you need a grip or like mechanism of some kind, and it's like you need either your hands, your teeth, or whether your toes if you add to that point and all that. We'll have to wait and see and all that, but like generally I'm kind of curious to see where people like are like thinking where this is going to be going in the next like couple of chapters of like Black Clover. But I think that's like with what Vanessa was saying at the end of the chapter, I definitely think that's where like Asta's going to be going. But I was like, oh no, Asta, don't be like sad, don't be depressed, man. Like I was generally upset for him. Like then I was like, oh, like just that's all I felt then was like, oh, like I felt really bad for the kid. I was like, oh, it's alright, Asta, you know, just sit down and be fine, man, you know. But he's like, no, fuck it, if life throws you lemons and all that, I'm gonna get the fucking tree itself and I'm gonna get a cake alongside my lemonade. He's like, you know, I kind of like his like whole like up there like bringing on it, but definitely really enjoyed this chapter a lot and all that, and very slow one, I will say that much. Though it's definitely building up, but it's the first time that we've seen Asta generally like really beaten up and really upset about something, and it's like seeing how he finally addressed it. Like I kind of like how Magna was the end as well. He's like crying. He's like, oh, that kid and all that lights a fire. Me, he gets to me. It's like I like that. And I'm like curious to see if there's like who's going to come with like Vanessa on like the next level like stuff that we're going to be having and like trying to heal Asta's arms. But definitely overall, I think I'd give this chapter like a 7. Like I think it was a good chapter, but definitely like the lower parts of the chapter was probably the fact that it was quite slow paced for a lot of people, but it did have a lot of like comedic value to it alongside with like actually kind of like a break chapter that we kind of need and all that. And it's like we do need chapters where we actually see like the characters bonding with one another, and it isn't just like, oh, straight to fight, and it was like actually there are repercussions to these fights. Like there are things that could actually happen. It isn't just like, wow, everyone just turned out okay. And that definitely leads up. It's like if we go against more of these people like the Eye of the Midnight Sun, and especially we've got other people coming around, and the new generals of the Diamond Kingdom, like we need Asta back at 100%, and if we got a chance of that, then definitely like from what Vanessa's upbringing of the witches and all that, I think that's probably the best option that we've probably got at the moment. But that's all for me, so thank you much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys though in a bit.